Filters. I have a love-hate relationship with them. More hate than love, actually. Filters are a pain in the ass to use. You have to keep them clean and make sure you don't scratch them. Getting them on and off your lenses is a hassle, but filters can be useful and often even necessary, particularly for video. I've been on the lookout for a filter system that combines optical quality with practicality. So when Freewell contacted me about trying out their K2 filter system, I decided to give it a go and see if it's the holy filter grail. Freewell sent me this kit, but as always, my opinions are not for sale and Freewell didn't have any say in the content of this video. For a future project, I needed some video and pictures of a person with a camera, and I figured it might be a good test case for the Freewell K2 filter system. Particularly because I needed this to be a fast run-and-gun hybrid photo-video shoot. The K2 is a pretty clever modular filter system. The base of the system is the base unit. This attaches to an adapter ring on your lens and you can mix and match a number of filters in and on the base unit. There are different sets of the K2 system available. The one that Freewell sent me consists of the base unit, front and back caps, the variable neutral density base, the 1 to 5 stop variable ND, which doubles up as a circular polarizer, the 6 to 9 stops variable ND, which is also an ND32 filter with circular polarizers, and there are also a few adapter rings included for various sizes of lenses. And there's a glow mist 1/4 slide-in filter. The set comes in a nice, sturdy and handy case, but it's also huge for a run-and-gun type of setup. The glow mist filter also comes in a nice sleeve with a handy tab to pull it out without smudging the filter. I believe this is what Freewell calls the K2 Creative Capture Kit. I see it listed on their website at $569.99 US. That's a substantial amount of money, but you can go much crazier with some other brands of filters. There are step-up rings available for pretty much any filter size. I got adapter rings for my Fujinon 18 and 33mm lenses. Of course, there are also other filters available for the system, like gradient filters, mist filters, UV filters and solid filters. Mounting the base unit is easy. You just put the adapter ring on your lens. By the way, if you use different lenses, it's best to put an adapter ring on each of your lenses so you can quickly put the base unit on each lens without having to screw off and on adapter rings whenever you change lenses. You simply push in the spring tabs and put the base unit on the adapter ring. And with a couple of turns on the 2 screws, the unit is locked onto your lens. So putting the whole filter system on and off the lens is pretty easy. It's not as fast though as a magnetic filter setup. Next up is installing the variable ND base filter. You'll need this to work with the 1 to 5 or the 6 to 9 variable ND front filter. The variable ND base is magnetic, but it's a bit fiddly to install. I wouldn't want to do this with cold hands or gloves, but you're probably going to keep this part installed most of the times, so it is no big deal. My guess is that this variable ND base is just a circular polarizing filter, because that's the way variable NDs work. It's by combining 2 circular polarizers, but that's just my guess. Installing the front filters is easy as they are magnetic. The variable ND filters are double-sided, so their function depends on the direction you put them on. When using one of the variable NDs, there is something to watch out for. You'll have to slap them on and then twist them just a little bit to be well installed. It's not a big deal, you just have to be aware of it, because this will give the ND filters hard stops and prevent turning them further than their useful range and create weird effects like that dreaded X-shaped shadow. Keep in mind that if you want to use the variable ND filters as a circular polarizer, you need to turn them around and remove the variable ND base. When reversed, the 1 to 5 variable ND functions as a polarizers. The 6 to 9 variable ND doubles up as a circular polarizer combined with an ND32. The slide-in filters are also easy to install. Just open the top and slide the filter in. If you have like a graduated filter, you can open the bottom and change the height of the filter. There's a good amount of friction to keep them in place and still be able to easily change the position of a graduated filter. For filter stacking junkies, it's worth noting that you can only have one slide-in filter at the same time. Let me tell you a secret. I'm not a filter expert. I'm also not a pixel peeper, nor did I do any side-by-side tests. But I know when something looks right or wrong. In general, I say that these filters are pretty impressive. They are definitely way above the usual cheap filters, and I'm sure there must be even better filters on the market, but those will cost you more money. For me and for what I do, all these filters are perfectly fine. The large size of the filters may make them a bit bulky, but also allow you to use one filter system for pretty much any lens without vignetting. I love it that the system includes a 1 to 5 stop variable ND and a 6 to 9 stop one. This allows me to shoot with a limited depth of field in pretty much any lighting scenario. For this shoot, we did some shots in full sun in the middle of the day. On top of that, I was shooting in f-log2, which has a minimum ISO of 1250 on the XH2S. With the 6 to 9 stop ND, I was able to shoot at f2 or lower. I didn't notice any pronounced color shift, which you get with many variable ND filters. And if there is one, it would be easily corrected with white balance or in post. The hard stops prevent you from turning the filter too far and, like I said, get that dreaded X-shaped pattern. I didn't test the polarizing part of the system extensively, but it just seems to do what it is supposed to do. The glow mist filter was a nice surprise. I generally feel that the effect of glow or mist filters is way too strong. The 1/4 strength filter gave me a nice subtle cinematic look, but I'll probably add the 1/8 strength filter to the kit for even more subtle video shoots and still photography. I might also get one of the streak filters to see what they are about. It's a cool effect, but you'll probably want to use it sparsely. So the filters do what they are supposed to do, but how does this clever modular design fares in the real world? I was hoping the K2 system could be a solution for fast run-and-gun hybrid photo and video work. Mind you, this use case might be a bit extreme. I wanted to work with just one camera, the XH2S, and two prime lenses, the 18 and the 33. All handheld, no lights, no backpack. You see, I like to eliminate everything that gets between me and my subject. And I wanted to switch effortlessly between photo and video. Maybe I wanted a bit too much because I run into some minor issues with the K2 system in this scenario. Putting the system on and off the lens is easy and fast, but as with all filters, you have got to be careful not to scratch or smudge the filters. This means putting on the front cap, taking the system off the camera, putting the back cap on and store the filter somewhere safe. And the other way around to put the filter back on. And that's only when you want to use the filter for video and no filter for photography. Say if I wanted to use the variable ND and mist filter for video and just the mist filter for photography, the process involves more steps. I know I'm nitpicking because it only takes a minute or so, but I'm very sensitive to things that disturb the flow. But if you use the K2 system for either photo or video, I find it to be perfectly practical. The same goes for shoots when you have the time and the environment to switch between photo and video. The Freewell K2 system is a bit of a big contraption, but it's not too big and it stays on the lens perfectly well. If the light changes, you can quickly switch out one ND for the other, and it's fast to insert the mist filter for the shots you wanted. The whole system isn't very heavy, yet the construction feels very solid. If you are looking for one system that does it all, I think the Freewell K2 system is a very good choice. It's not cheap, but also not expensive for the quality and the options that you get. Working with filters always requires some kind of compromise. That can be image quality or practicality. For that minimalist run-and-gun photo-video work, I think I'm going to look into some simple magnetic filters that might be a bit less good, but more handy and faster. But I'm definitely going to be using the K2 system for my video work and in more controlled circumstances. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next one.